how you doing? How are you? I hope you're well and I hope you are good. Today the colour is blue. Woo! As you can see, we've got all the blue lights on. I'm wearing blue. I'm going to be making an artwork out of the colour blue, and I encourage you to do the same thing. So I would really love it if you would grab your blue art materials and make something along with me. But of course you don't have to. You can just watch me, chill out, have a cup of tea and watch me making. That's fine. It lowers your heart rate, makes you feel all lovely. So happy days, right? I'm going to read just a little bit. I'm not going to read the whole lot, obviously, but hopefully this will give you like a little bit of insight into the colour blue. And tell me how you feel. I'll tell you what, more importantly than any of this stuff is how you feel about the colour blue. Alright, so the earth may shake, volcanoes erupt, tornadoes and fierce winds wreak havoc, yet somehow the sky has never fallen. It is simply always there. It might be covered with dense clouds on a dismal grey day, but we know that when the clouds disperse, there will be a beautiful patch of clear blue. This azure blue of the daylight sky promises us the continuity of yet another day. Dependable, constant, and ever faithful. As it is so inherently connected to the sky above us, blue also provides a view of vast distances, allowing us to look beyond the obvious, increasing our perspectives and opening the flow of communication. It is both thoughtful and thought-provoking, contemplative and reflective. Blue hues also invoke thoughts of cleansing waters, the serenity of quiet streams. Of all the colours in the spectrum, blue is seen as the coolest, both in temperature and in temperament, inducing a feeling of calm and relaxation to counteract agitation, confusion, or commotion. Right? How lovely is that? Well, the sobriety of blue is tempered when a bit of warmth is added as an undertone. It is playful periwinkle that brings a sprightly and whimsical touch to blue, while electric blue, just as the name implies, adds a jolt of energy, similar to a discharge of atmospheric or cosmic electricity. Oh, I like that. Blue is the most popular hue worldwide, and not surprisingly, 1/3 of the world's branding images are blue. And that's why we've started with the colour blue, because it is the most popular. So if you're arting along, I hope that has provided you with some inspiration. And if you're not arting along with me, I hope that that was just insightful and informative, right? I really wanted to do a collage because I've got so many lovely papers, and I've been wanting to do a bit of a wintry type mandala for a while. So that's how this has come to be. Plus, I got this book and I wanted to find some watery based inspiration. So this is the image that inspired me the most, because I was looking for watery based things. It's a sign. Actually, let me know if you speak French in the chat and tell me exactly what it says here. But as far as I know, it's for a studio. So it's an advertisement. It's like a sign for a studio that creates art, different kinds of art, right? Because atelier means studio. I know that for a fact. These is what has inspired me. So I was like, oh my God, these are really watery. So check out those lovely Art Nouveau motifs. Just so gorgeous. So I basically kind of copied those. I copied this bit here. And I copied this bit here. And I've kind of used them in a slightly different way. So that's my inspiration. Because if you know anything about me, you know that I've done a load of mosaics, I'm really into collage. Motifs like really get me going. And you got to do what really gets you going, right? It's so important. So do what gets you going and don't do anything else, right? This is my like kind of design, like a quick sketch. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use two different techniques. I'm going to use templates and I'm going to trace. So I've got these templates which I cut out already, which is one of those lovely Art Nouveau designs. And then I've traced, like I drew it out first and then I traced it. So I didn't trace this from the book, although you could do that. I just kind of copied it and then sort of extended it. What you want to do is you want to repeat the design, right? So I'm going to be like repeating this a couple of times. I'm going to be repeating these a couple of times, and I'm going to be repeating this going around the outside. Well, that way actually. So you need something to help you to repeat the design. So if you're doing anything like me, you need to like trace or cut yourself out some templates to draw around, right? And obviously this is traditional art. If you were doing this digitally, oh my God, you've got an easy life. You've got such an easy life. If you're doing it digitally, then you can just basically just select the layer and then repeat the layer, and you don't even have to think about it, which is amazing. So that's the plan. So let me show you my lovely, lovely papers. Probably the ultimate best way to like go ahead with this is think, okay, so I've got all the kind of tints of blue, so all the white, so all the really light blues, then you've got all the middle blues, right, and then you've got all the darker blues or the shades of blue that are like mixed with black, so anything dark. But you might also have turquoises, which is exciting. If you've also got turquoises, then you've got the lights, the mids, the darks, and the turquoises. So you've got this other sort of option, which is really nice. That's how my brain thinks of it. That's the simplest way I can think of to explain it in a way that's like, where am I gonna put all these blues? Like, how is it gonna look good? You know, we're all really busy, right? So this is kind of like carving out a little bit of time in your schedule to be like, actually, I want to make something lovely. And limitations are always kind of good, and color is a really good way to limit things down and think, all right, now I've got to do this in this specific thing in this specific time frame. Let's go for it, right? Let's go for it and do for it. So what I've done already in preparation, like I said, is make myself a couple of templates, get myself a tracing ready so I can choose what colors I'm going to do from them. And I also cut myself out some circles, because I don't know if you've ever tried to cut out a circle before, but to get a really perfectly beautiful, lovely cut out circle is actually quite tricky. So the very first one I did wasn't that nice, but then these four look really nice. I'm pretty pleased with them. But I've got these like really, really sharp scissors. So if you're doing any collage, always have really, really, really sharp scissors. So important. And you've got to choose whether to go on the line or next to the line. Now is like a really good time to work out a design if you're making along with me. You've got to kind of sketch out a design, right? If you're doing something like this, you need to sketch out a design for sure. Pretty important. So the first initial thought was, what color am I going to do for the background? And my initial thought was a deep blue, like a real deep navy, like making it look like really sent back. The trouble is I don't have a big enough sheet of deep blue paper. And this is the thing, right, isn't it, with art materials? If you gather all your art materials together for whatever you're doing and you want to do something specific or within limitations, and then you're like, oh my God, I haven't got enough of this thing. So I had to think of another way. So I did multiple. I don't think I'm going to do this one, because to be honest, that just seems too light and I want some of the elements to be lighter. So now I've got to decide what everything's going to be before I start cutting. So I've got a bunch of stuff. Got to sort through the bunch of stuff now. Lights, mids, darks, turquoises, and then anything else you might have. so far it's looking like that. That's nice. A bit of that. That's nice, isn't it? Handlebar moustache. That's not intentional, but doesn't it? What do you think? So these go up in here. Supposed to be a water motif, all right? But they look like flamingos. So I finished this. I finished cutting out all the bits earlier today, and I'm just going to glue it down. And although that sounds like really simple and easy, this is made up of lots of little tiny little parts, so it's actually going to take a little while, and I've got to be super careful. I've made sure my hands are super clean, and yeah, so I've got to be nice and calm and focused and relaxed. So that's kind of the vibe we're going with today. Anyway, how are you? I hope you're well. I hope you're good. I'm gonna have to take my time. I'm gonna have to kind of take all the bits off gradually and work from the underneath up. Feeling very happy about that. All right, so now I've got the easy job of just putting a load of dots on. The easy job. I think I'm going to pour some tea. Let's have a cup of tea. And a little pause and a little breather. Oh my God. Everything worth doing takes time. Cheers. Happy with me lovely. Well, it is this way up. Thank you so much for joining. It's so lovely to have you here. Remember, stay creative, stay your awesome selves. There's nothing more important than just being yourself. Don't try and be anything else. You're already amazing the way you are. See you on Wednesday for more fabulousness. Have a great start to your week. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you Wednesday. Bye.